sports. It's in the game.
Yeah, that was a heck of a pass. I mean, you could just hear that ball sizzling in the air.
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
Don't be afraid of the bounce. See when your things levels got changed to your mouth. How can I walk in doubt? Never been a beg, never been a loud mouth. Pen can go for days. I'm obsessed with it, can't change my ways. So blessed with it, what can I say? Top form staying in shape.
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
I'm gonna run it up, though you know your fun is up. James knew back when I was coming up, didn't wanna know then. Now I bet they loving us no more. No R&R, the bar is raised. If you know me, now I can bar for days. Nothing to prove cause I've done enough. Lights out, still gonna keep the torch. Show you a little piece, wanna see some more?
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you a little piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you a little piece, wanna see some more. Show you a little piece, wanna see some more. You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some, see some. I never mind if people change. I wanna try and heal my pain. How do you buy what can't be sold? How can you lie to me in my face, in my face, in my face, in my face, in my face? That's how I'm still gonna keep the torch. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. Coming out of the end zone, D. Eskridge. And able to get this out to the 25. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. Three tight ends are out there. Two and a throw right away. Steps away to his left. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. They'll roll him out right. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Sliding out of the pocket. That one complete down the field to Smith. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 26. Looking to pass. Tua. This is Smith with a grab. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Achane will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Tua sets up to pass it, being chased out left. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Durham Smythe, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Back to throw, Watson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And so now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Look at the big fella go. And it'll be a big hit at the end of this one, but it's also a big play as he's able to hang on to the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They run it again with Chubb. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Sure didn't take this offense long to get within striking distance of the end zone. 2 plays.
Feel the energy? You can just feel it, can't you? Because they are creating it on offense, the way they're running the football. Now they've swept into the red zone. Momentum all on their side.
And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it as he gets wiped out on that one.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll try the air now with Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After the turnover, it's Tua. He'll buy some time right. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
On second down, a run by Achane. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Part Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on first down.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. A short one there, caught by Swaim. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. To throw is Watson. He's got Swaim here as tight end outright. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal. Here's Watson. Escaping, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from... Miami, it's the Dolphins with the football as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Rolling to his right. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Forced out to his left. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. They'll roll him out right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. On play action, here's Tua. He's got Smith here. Big strides. Look at him go. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jonnu Smith. 66 yards. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, 66 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And not what he was hoping for when he brought it out. They're going to get him down short of the 15-yard line. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick start.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown. Devon Achane taking it in. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Cleveland offense ready to go. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is. Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now it's Watson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Look at the big man rumble. Inside the 10. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up a 1st and goal from very short range.
Chubb again, pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you...
Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Moore. He will return it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Tua now on first down. Flush to his right. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 40 yards. And the Dolphins add 6 to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And again, it's Chubb. Tyrell Dotson there on the tackle. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And he coughed it up. And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A final shot before the break. Watson. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Faking the give. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The handoff to Ford up the middle. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now Watson going to get this into the hands of Chubb. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Watson looks to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 37. A gain of 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Tackle there by Saran Neal out of Jacksonville State.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And now with the play clock getting down, Kevin Stefanski going to take a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. They go up the middle with Chubb. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
And Hopkins' kick is no good. It's wide to the left. And this will remain a 5-point game.
Looked like he might have overcompensated there for being on the right hash because you've got to make sure you get the angle right. But that time he started it too far left and winds up hooking it way too far.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 31. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Flushed out right. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is now 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. On some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris. So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Escaping the pressure right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Understanding he's just down one possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 148 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Watson now to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. 2nd and 7. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. The offense on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, baseball folks, Charles, they like to talk about the 3 true outcomes, a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. But for this quarterback, it's been the 2 true outcomes here. He's got 4 touchdown passes, but now a 3rd interception.
And it pains you to think that you have to try and tell him to rein it in. But at the same time, you can't just chuck it up there and hope for the best. And old school football coaches will tell you there's 3 true outcomes throwing the ball, and 2 of them are bad.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 41 yards. And the Browns are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Tua. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Rolling to his right. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Tua now on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
He's crossing. He's checking crowd.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Dancing to his left. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Tua. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up 2nd down. From his goal line here, Watson. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing Tua. Achane will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Now Tua. They're going to try and run. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And did the Dolphins get it? Yes. Miami football. So they... Needed the onside kick. They got it. Now they need a field goal.
And that's the beauty of this. They don't have to get 6. A field goal ties the ball game for them. Nicely executed play.
This is 1st and 10. Here's Tua. The drive starts with a run from Achane. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Not a bad game there, and it's okay to still run the football in this situation, but you got to be careful to not take too much time off the clock.
Here's 2nd down. Tua. Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Well, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Tua to throw. Flushed out right. That is caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Well, that is the definition, Charles, of delivering under pressure. The game-winning potential. There's still a little time left on the clock, but the potential game-winning drive, and it was well executed.
I think we're going to remember this possession for a long time. We've called a bunch of games, but how about how they got it done down the stretch? Absolutely terrific. Barring some type of miraculous play in this last half minute, I think that touchdown just earned them the win. They really came up clutch when they needed it.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Watson. He's going to let it fly. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. To throw, Watson. That is incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This ball intercepted. And the Dolphins have just about sewn up this football game. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.